Justin, it's Monday,
Yeah.
which means let's talk about this past weekend. All right, hello everyone, welcome back to Coffee Time Podcast. This is Mondays where we rehash the weekend and we kind of just vlog it out, talk about it and everything
Mhm.
else. And come later this episode, if you did your homework, we have a segment called Extra Credit where you can get would I say brownie points? No, it's not brownie points, huh?
You just have expanded your thought process to a different type of opinion, essentially, I guess.
Damn, you're gonna hit something like that on us, huh? Like philosophical and shit.
Yeah, what's up, homie? I've been learnt.
That's horrible. That is horrible. But anyway, if you did your homework, you'll get some extra credit from Coffee Time Crew. We're gonna talk about, well, how we reviewed. Is it a review?
Yeah, we're gonna give our opinions of what we thought of the movie, and maybe give like our own point system, probably like on a scale of 1 to what would we rate it.
Oh, so you said movie. What's the movie called?
So it's I already forgot. So it's the 13th. It's a Netflix documentary. Of course, y'all can go check it now. If you haven't looked at it and you're looking at this, pause this, go watch that real quick, and then come back. And later on, we'll be discussing it and our opinions on it.
Now, look, I want to inform you that real quick, watch it real quick is not a thing. It's an hour and 40-minute doc, but we'll get into it in just a second.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's just start about the weekend, dude. It's Monday. Um, my weekend started on Thursday, dude, and I did a ton. I did a ton. I got on an airplane, flew to Seattle, packed someone's whole entire life up in a car, and drove it down the exact same day. The whole transit trip was like, hey, we're gonna leave at 3 p.m. on or 1500 for my military boys out there. For we left at 1500, so 3 p.m. We dropped. We landed at 6:20. No, no, we got there at 5:30. Got picked up at 6. Got to the house at 8. Packed up for 2.5 hours. Got on the fucking road, dude, and got back Friday. No, 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 because we stopped. We got back Saturday at 2 in the morning, and it was
Damn,
crazy.
fuck that.
Yeah, dude, and that was just my Thursday to basically Friday night, and then what happened? What happened? I did my homework, watched this damn doc on Sunday though, and I had to watch the Lakers dominate the fucking Heat in the last game, which is crazy. I wanted to see something more competitive from Jimmy Butler. Do you even watch NBA?
Not not really, not since it's gotten like really political. I watched every now and then. I was never really a big sports fan. You kind of know that about me, but I'll watch it whenever it's like on. I'll be like, oh, okay, this game's going on. Especially in the finals, I like watching it. But this year, I just haven't. Not because oh, I'm making a process. No, I just haven't gotten around to it. Honestly, I didn't even know sports were really back. Honestly.
Well, you know UFC was back. I talk about it way too damn
Yeah, of
much.
course, yeah, UFC, and then I know football's back because one of the shows I listen to back in California, they talk about it in their sports thing. So I hear a lot about baseball, a little bit of basketball, and mostly football for sure.
But yeah, so my
Yeah.
weekend was capped out as just watching the finals, having a few beers, still testing my stomach on this carnivore diet thing, dude. Dude, I feel locked in. It's scary how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Like I was at 10 Planet. Uh, Shout out to San Diego 10 Planet. 10th Planet. Let me enunciate that so you don't think I'm saying TENT. No, it's the number 10. 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu. And dude, I have been locked in. Like today, went in, rolled with a couple of their black belts, got destroyed, but they were like, dude, you're improving. Like I can tell that you're improving. I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You know?
Whenever you get that, hey, nod by like someone like that's way up there to say like, hey, you've from where you started to where you are now, it's like night and day. So having that is always like a great thing for sure.
Yeah, dude, it was really nice. And yeah, so had a couple beers. I don't know how they make my stomach feel just yet. I don't know if I was hungover. Oh no, I was definitely not hungover. But yeah, that's about it, man. Today was a
Yeah,
big day. I had my interview for my job.
Mm-hmm.
That went well. They want me to do a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm just like, oh, here we go again with this job shit. So I was like, whoa, I might come back and finish this. I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like I need like a more just looking for structure. And I want to buy the van soon. That's
Yeah,
why I
for
want the job. Gonna get that
no,
fucking van,
man.
bro.
You're not. Don't, bro. Just stay in the Prius, homely. See if there's like a Prius van. That'd be dope.
I will own the Prius and the van. Okay.
Just tow the Prius behind the
Yeah,
van.
100%.
Okay. I
100%.
was just fucking around. But yeah, I mean, my weekend, it really wasn't that eventful. I did purchase a new vehicle because my truck, unfortunately, due to some issues with banks not communicating with each other, got repossessed. So that's fun. So I decided just to let them sell it at public auction and, just pay off the difference if I own anything and just leave it at that. Fortunately, that was my Trump truck, so I had all my Trump flags and my magnetic signs. I was disappointed, but bro, it breaks my heart because guess what was in that truck? That it's one of my most valuable things since I left the military. It was that baseball that we found in Hawaii that I made everyone sign.
Oh, wow.
That thing is in the truck and I cannot get it back. So I'm like so sad. I'm like, fuck, like it sucks, but I guess I still have the memory at least. But I really just wanted to keep that baseball.
Dude, I totally
Just
forgot about that baseball. We found it in a
yeah,
park, right?
yeah,
And
we
we
found
were,
it at the baseball field and we were trying to fucking pitch and then the lights went out on us and we
oh,
all got
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was very late at night. Dude,
yeah.
so can you find out who purchased your truck and ask for them to send or go meet them?
So here's the thing, because I don't know what they do with the valuables with the truck, because I would assume like they clean it out and like get rid of most of the shit in there, because also there's a lot of documents that are from the military in there, like documents that I've had, like page 13s and like a bunch of evals and stuff like that that are in there, and they're just copies, so it's not the original, so I don't worry about that. But I'm just like, a lot of these things have my social on it, so I don't know what the process is. I've been trying to get a hold of the other financial institution to find out more information on like, hey, where is this place, so I could call them and see what they're gonna do with the stuff. Because if they're just gonna burn it, okay, cool. But if they're just gonna leave it in there for the next person, I'm like, that's kind of illegal if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it seems like they're gonna have two Justin Avalos in the world soon.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Hopefully he has better credit and he'll build my shit up a little bit more. So
ah,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
there's always a hope that, hey, I will hope that my identity gets stolen by someone responsible so they can help me out. That makes a lot of sense.
More responsible than my ass for sure. Oh yeah, so I got this little $900 Forerunner. It's a stick shift, which is really cool. I've always wanted to drive a stick again and learning that again. So it actually runs really well. There's no AC in that bitch, so I'm dying right now in this Texas heat.
Dude,
Even
it's
with
not just Texas heat. You're in Corpus fucking Christi. Like, it's the hottest part of Texas, I think.
yeah,
It gets so fucking hot down there.
yeah, hot, humid, just not bueno.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that
rough.
was the weekend in a nutshell. Getting that truck, the lights that were out, fixing that. I had to put in a new rear view mirror for the back. So, doing all that stuff. And then whenever I get paid again, for sure, gonna try getting that AC fucking fixed so I could have a more comfortable ride.
So, has your truck sold yet?
I don't know. I'm trying to get in contact with Exeter, but they have not been returning my calls in regards to that because it's some other entity that deals with that shit.
Hmm.
So I've been trying to call them and do all that shit. So we'll see. I know they're supposed to notify me when it does get sold, and then from there just continue like, hey, if I owe anything, owe them. If not, then they pay me the remainder or whatever, which will be dope. But
Did
I doubt,
did you catch any of the fights this weekend for the UFC?
bro. No, we don't have cable anymore.
Cable? You don't have ESPN Plus?
I do, but the only notifications I get is for like football right now. I don't have it with UFC and shit like that for some reason. I've been trying to figure that crap out, but I'm just so stupid when it comes to that app.
Hmm.
But no, I did hear about with football the freaking cowboy that fucked up his.
Dak Prescott, yeah, the quarterback
Yeah,
fucked his
bro.
ankle up bad.
All that, and I'm just like, oh no, like,
Yeah, it was cringy. It was like, oh,
yeah,
it's just like watching a Scar at 2 in the morning, watching people just get fucked up and break their
bro,
limbs.
I missed that fucking
It was a
show.
great
It's
show.
so dope.
It was a great
But
show.
you're a Papa Roach of all people.
Oh yeah, it was the lead singer of
Yeah,
Papa Roach.
I actually met him once. I got to meet him long time ago whenever they were here in Corpus performing. I was at the mall, and my brother was the first one to meet him, and then I met him a couple days after that, and he was just there. I was like, dude, you're, and he was like, yeah, I'm that guy. I'm like, dude, like I was like such a fan, and it was weird. Like he was like this big fat guy and lost all that weight because of drugs and shit like that, and he was just talking to me, telling me about his tattoos, and then that was pretty much it. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, he looks like the typical punk rock star of like the 90s.
Yeah, he kind of reminded me of the lead singer from Green Day a lot. Like they looked really similar in some ways, but not really. It was weird.
Here we go again with you comparing people that like, oh, they're similar and they're not. Like the whole what the fuck was it? Miley Cyrus
And her sister, I'm like, they
and her
sound
sister? Dude, we were like listening to Slipknot. I'm like, oh, it sounds like Miley Cyrus, huh?
at the club. I was like, bro, I love Leonard Skinner, and it was like some rap shit. I forgot what it
Yeah.
was. It was a fun time talking
Okay,
shit about.
so when you say similarities of what's his name? I think Billy Joe. I think
Yeah,
it's Billy
Billy Joel
Joe. And who's the Papa
and
Roach?
Jacoby Shaddix.
Say it again.
Jacoby Shaddix.
Okay, so Jacoby and Billy, right? They
Yeah.
both wear eyeliner. Is that what you're talking about?
I can find a picture of this because I feel like I'm gonna like be.
Hold
Um,
on. Hold on. We'll cut the still here. I can share my screen so you can see it.
uh, why does it have fucking It had the guy from fucking oh man, I can't even think what his name is right now, from Linkin Park on their main thing.
Um
I'm trying to find an older picture from back then because now he kind of looks like shit. But oh, okay. So here's a like good thing. Like
Hold
you can't.
on. I'm doing it on my end. Can you see?
Okay,
Jesus.
so
He
okay, look at the first picture right there.
This
All right.
one?
So, yeah, look at that one, and then look at this right here on my phone. I'm not sure if it's gonna zoom, but
Give me a moment. You're talking
yeah.
about this one. God, this looks fucking horrible.
Okay, so okay,
Hold on.
that's so.
Let me switch off of. Oh God, what do I have to turn off my ad blocker here? The fuck? Get out of here. All right, we can just see it right there.
That you can see that, yeah. And now pull up Jacoby Shaddix.
How do you even spell that?
So just type in Jacoby. J A
Singer
from
of Papa Papa Roach.
Dude, what a name for a band, right? All right, so Jacoby Shaddix, okay.
All right.
All right,
Hold on.
so that,
We're gonna like go here. We're getting all technical here.
I know, right?
Pull out. All right.
Ish, right?
Where are we
Ish.
at? Which ones do you want to
Okay,
compare?
so go down on the Jacoby one.
Okay.
So go to where it's like this
Right
pink.
here?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that one.
Or probably this one, right?
Yeah. Do you not see similarities?
All right, let me cut the still off. This is interesting. So go to 2. Okay, guys. Hmm. Hmm.
Am I wrong that they do not look similar? Not completely identical, but similar.
Okay. I'll give that to you. He just looks like a fucking creeper in this one. Jesus.
Yeah, he really does. But I mean, Jacoby now looks terrible.
More drugs?
I'd assume so. Sure, why not?
It looks pretty healthy in this picture.
Yeah,
Maybe?
yeah.
Oh yeah, he just looks like that typical emo douche that's like, I'm in
He
so
looks
much
like
pain. Someone listen to me.
I used to suck dick for coke.
Jesus Christ. Okay, back to still. Let me
Back to your camera. So
let me
we can-
bring you back up here. Man,
Hi, that's me.
How do I stop sharing? Boom, there
Okay,
we
there
go.
you
I'm gonna learn this, dude. I'm telling you, guys, we need a Jamie. Come back to us.
go.
All right, so we're back. Okay, I'll give that to you. I'll give it
All
to you.
right, fair enough.
It's not like the Miley Cyrus and God, what is her sister name?
Noah.
Noah Cyrus. Not like
Yeah.
that, but I give that one to you.
All
Okay,
right, fair.
so we're 16 minutes in, like 15, 14 minutes in, give and take. That we have to edit out the weird intro that we always go through. Um, Dude, let's get into it. I think I'm gonna allow you to go first on this one because
Okay.
you're alt right anyway, Trump supporter. So
What? Shut
let's go.
up.
Let's talk about
All right.
13th
All right.
documentary on Netflix. What you get out of it?
So what I got out of it. So the thing I liked about it is they went both to a Democratic side and a Republican side because it showed like some Republican like congressmen and stuff talking about the issue, and then he had some Democratic people. The
Mm-hmm.
thing I did not like is there was some people in there that there was no credibility for them to even be in there. Like they weren't professors. They were just people. Like there was this bigger girl, this bigger African American chick that wasn't anything like it just said her name and I was like, what's your credential to talk about this subject other than that you're an African American? Like, where do you get your stats? Where do you get your ideas from? Whatever. So that's the only thing I kind of didn't like. I don't like when they do that with either side. Like, if it's going to me talking about it, like, what the fuck do I really know other than the stuff I've like read about? Like, I have no credential to bring to the table. So that was one of the issues. The other one, it was weird because in the beginning it was like, you know, Democrats did this, like Republicans started, and then Democrats like took it to action. With like Bill Clinton's freaking I can't think of what it's called. Oh, it's gonna kill me.
All you gotta do is just
It's
say the bill
it
that
was
he
like
signed. It was the prison
yeah, it was
reform
the bill
bill.
that yeah, the prison reform bill that he signed. They talked about like how that was bad for a lot of the African American communities, how it was talked about by Republicans but brought about by the Democrats. So it was weird like seeing like, oh, Republicans did this but the Democrats were the main reason. Of course they talked about the KKK, they talked about all these different types of groups that were also Democratic, and then they talked about Black Panthers, they talked about Martin Luther King, a bunch of other things. So they mixed both Republican and Democratic things. So it was interesting to, see like, because in school you really don't know like a lot about like what happened directly after slavery. Like we hear slavery and then straight to Jim Crow laws, but we never really hear like the aftermath of like, hey, they were able to imprison them so they could still work for free and doing these things. So we're never really taught that in school. At least I wasn't. So it was interesting to learn about that and how the justice system like targeted people in that way. Now the only thing I didn't, the part that I really didn't like was whenever it talked about at the very end, it was a thing that Trump was saying at one of his rallies, like, "Oh, kick them out, they be carried out on a stretcher and yada yada," and it was only showing the African American people that were targeted during that specific convention. But what it doesn't show, and they talked about this too, they're like, "Oh, how the media could portray one side over the other."
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show that other people that he was talking to also that were white, that were Hispanic, that were different ethnicities other than African American. They just want to focus on that in this documentary. So I'm like, like you just said how the media can portray these people as, being these super predators, being these monsters, this and that, yet at the same time you did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was like, you're talking about, biased media, but then you're biased yourselves at the very end talking about Trump because this was made in 2016 because that was the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I looked at. I was like, why was this made? And it was made during the election. So I was like, it's kind of weird timing for me because it showed that one clip, but it barely talked about how Hillary was involved with that prison reform bill as well. It talked about it a little bit and how they apologized,
Yeah.
but it didn't talk about the negative effects. So it was just weird. I felt like it was at the beginning non-biased, but then toward the end it started getting biased again.
All right. So, I like your review. I think we're. Well, I'll get into mine first, and then we'll talk more about that.
Hmm.
Okay. So, Dude, you said it the best way. You said it the best way. Because I was sitting here watching this, and the whole first 30 to 40 minutes of the show is basically just giving us facts, numbers. They're not actually referencing where these numbers are coming from.
Hmm.
Most of them not. Now, when you bring up the you were being a little nice describing her, but the SJW with the buzz cut, kind of a heavy
Hmm.
set girl, and you're like, why are you here, right? I actually
Yeah.
thought she was the best one, the entire doc, cause yeah, she didn't have any credentials, but if you did some digging, and I was so intrigued about how she was like placing her words, and she was very careful, cause she didn't identify as Democratic. She's like, there's no, I think she's actually the only one, because that's what like really sparked my interest in her, that she doesn't identify as Democratic or Republican or left leaning or right leaning. She's just
Hmm.
like, dude, this is fucked up, and I want to tell you about it because she was also in the system. She was in the probation system. She's a recovering crack baby, as I was
Hmm.
reading, but she was making some like very careful statements where you can see that like she's seen some shit or she's been through some shit. So I
Yeah.
actually thought without the credentials, she's just like one of those people that's been on the streets, and it gives her the right to have an opinion on this. Or you always have the right to have an opinion, but to be recorded
Yeah.
in the doc and everything like that. And she came out in like a weird, like there's no white or black in a like I'm talking in a Venn diagram aspect, and she was the gray in the middle, where it's like, yeah,
Hmm.
this is what the left did, this is what the right did, this is what the left did, this is what the right did. Hey guys, politics are all fucked up and dirty. And so the first 30 minutes of this is basically showing the viewer a bunch of facts that are not cited anywhere at all. Like they don't like tell them, and where did you get your numbers from? 25%, 5%, that's big numbers. And then like they have like nice headlines that grabs you, like what was it you just said, super predator and stuff like
Yeah.
that, that could really like lynch, oh, I got a what's a super predator and everything.
Hmm.
And then like they give you all these numbers, and it's kind of just like, okay, I'm interested in everything like that. And then like they flip it, they're like, oh, but the media always represents this in a way where you can see how black people are terrible in any way like that, or people of color. They don't
Hmm.
really hound on black people. They do because most of the staff or the people that are being interviewed are black. There's three white guys, and there's one Hispanic female, I believe, when I was looking at this. And they don't really hound on that, but they're people of color. That's like their big thing, right? And
Hmm.
then it starts into like, hey, people of color, but the media wants to show you black people.
Yeah.
They're evil, they're super predators and everything like that and everything. So like the media is doing this, they're creating propaganda, they're creating false statements, false accusations, false numbers and everything like that for the public to just, eat this all up and then to spread it and everything like that. So, after building that, they give you a history lesson of the Bill Clinton with the prison reform of what is like $3.4 billion, bigger prisons and everything like that, and then war on drugs, and it circles back
Yeah.
to Nixon, then to
Yeah. Nixon.
Clinton. Okay, I know a lot about the war on drugs and the crack pandemic, gotta fly, Jesus, crack cocaine pandemic, or I wouldn't say pandemic, but um, how would I word this? It was
Crisis.
this, huh?
Crisis, maybe.
Crisis. I like that. I like that. Crisis that was destroying colored communities, right? And people of
Hmm.
color, and it was just like, hey, cocaine, you get more leeway if you have an ounce of cocaine, but if you have not, well, let's not say an ounce, like a tenth of cocaine or a tenth of crack, dude, it's like fucking life in prison basically. That's what they're saying. Would Clinton pass that like three strikes you're out, or hey, if you're transporting crack, not cocaine, not the powder, but the rock, it's life in prison. And they gave very tons of examples about wrongful imprisonment and everything like that. So it's showing you
Hmm.
that the Republicans started this, the Democrats was losing elections, and they're like, hold on, if we're being too easy on criminals and um, super predators, we're losing the election because it gave us examples of how the Republicans used that as like, hey, this is what this governor or whatever, he was a Democrat, did for this this criminal, this is what I would do for him if I had that power. So George
Hmm.
Bush won, right? Well, Nixon won, George Bush won, and then like fucking Clinton was like, hold up now, we need to win this battle, so let's be hard on criminals. But they took it a little too far, and then they're like, this is where it got funny for me. So, like you were saying in your review, it's a balance of, hey, Republicans fucked up, Democrats really fucked up. So it's like everyone's a bad guy here. Everyone just wants to win a presidential candidacy. They just want to do that. So what?
Hmm.
Who gets the butt in the seat and becomes the POTUS, right? So then it's like this is how you knew it was very left leaning when they only show Bill Clinton being very apologetic and saying that he's wrong, and then they show Hillary because the time matters in 2016. Hillary saying because this could have came up in the 2016 debates and everything like that, where she apologized, but she doesn't apologize. She's like, my husband knew it was wrong, and he apologized for that. She doesn't say anything about, hey, do you feel sorry about this? Hey, First
Yeah.
Lady, you had a say. You were pressing him. You're his partner. Where is that at? And then it just cuts. Then it shows Trump doing Trump things
Yeah.
and everything. I'm like, and what you said at the end of your review, you showed us all this great information that some people will know, some people won't know, and this is the first time that they've heard of the cocaine crisis in colored communities. And I love how they didn't show. It was actually proven like Baltimore is a great example of this, where cops were planting cocaine and well crack, crystal rock on in black communities, getting them addicted first and then arresting them and everything like that. But that came way before. That came after this whole prison reform and the war on drugs, because they like bad people saw that opportunity to be like, okay, we can do this. We can set this up where we can get these people that we don't agree on because of the color of their skin or religious, whatever, and we can imprison them and get them to work for cheap labor because they gave us this loophole of, the 13th Amendment, and everything. So, just to round it all up, I hate that the documentary was like awesome. It was like, hey, media does this, media does that. It controls you, it brainwashes you, and then you double back and do the same thing
Yeah.
in a political stance. Like, dude, like it lost all my interest in that. The last 40 minutes was just, all right. You just told me how the media does this, and you're not gonna do it to me, and then you do it to me. Are you just fucking gaslighting me here? Like, but like you said, 2016 and the month it was released, you got to see that a lot of people are not trying to fact check. They look at a doc. I know a lot of people that will look at a documentary and be like, "That's fact on TV. That's
Hmm.
it." They won't even challenge it. And there's a lot of good things that the third or 13th show, but be careful because they manipulate you at the end. 40 minutes, like when you have when you're an hour in, and that last 40 minutes, they really start leaning left, and they really just show you bad things about right wing politics. And like you said, they cut and alter a video and a speech of Trump that just makes him look terrible and everything.
Yeah, like how they cut it, like it was showing like footage from the past and like how that rhetoric, gets with that. And because whenever saw this documentary, I knew the first time, because I told you I had to watch it twice.
Yeah.
The first time going into like this is going to be a Democratic director and all this stuff talking about this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I know he's going to be fair at first, but then it's going to go to his own agenda at the end. So that's where the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, let me just try watching it again. More accepting, like, okay, I know this is what they're about to talk about, so I watched it again, and I was able to be like, you know what, this information I never knew. I'm glad I learned this information. Of course, I still want to see if a lot of this information is correct. I'm sure it is. Like in the beginning, gave you a lot of numbers, it gave you a lot of things that people, I don't want to say Democrat or Republican, but people would put into place to maintain a certain type of power. Because the way I saw this documentary is it's showing how these people are victims, and sorry, you're going to stay a victim. And I don't like that mindset. I'd rather, like, even though everything's going against me, because you see these congressmen that were talking that were black men. Like, okay, well, if you're supposed to be a victim, then how are you not a victim right now? You rose above that shit. And I wish like it went into because I feel like if this documentary, the same one, was written today, it'd be a little bit different. I've because they would have to talk about how Donald Trump did the First Step Act to help people that were wrongfully convicted back during those times and getting them out, reducing the sentences that he was like, why are you getting a sentence of 60 years for having just marijuana? Like shit like that. So we're taking steps now.
But hey, we are out of time. We're out of time. So, what do you rate it?
Let's do a rating of 1 out of 5. I'll give it a fair 3.9, almost a 4, because I feel like the information was really good. I think they did it in a way to where you could sympathize with it, you could understand it. The only issue I had was toward the end when it started going toward, oh, well, look at Trump and what he's saying, and it cuts to that. I didn't like that at all. I feel like before that, it was a great documentary. It hit everything on the nail, like how it was not just Republicans but Democrats too. So it was being fair at that point, but then toward the end. So I'll give it a good 3.9.
Yeah, so I will let's lead with the rating. I think I will solely only give this like a 2 out of 5. Cause,
Really? Okay.
dude, you can't start with, hey, the main purpose of this doc is to inform you of the inequality and how you're being manipulated by the media, and they give like an hour of history of how if someone of color commits a crime or if someone of non-color commits this crime, how it's projected as like, oh, these hooligans or super predators are all this like dysfunctional child, which is why it has robbed a store and we need help finding him because he needs help, or hey, you need to shoot these black kids that robbed this store. And they give all these examples of how that happens, but then you fucking do it. You walk it back, and you do the exact same thing for the last 40 minutes. I just thought it was a poor choice. It was so I was like, I'm leaning on like 3.9, 3.8, close to 4. But since you did that, you contradicted yourself. You walked back. How can I trust you? How can I trust the director to do that? Yeah, 2. It's a 2.
All right, so we'll average it up to about like a 3 point something.
Yeah, 3.5 from Coffee Time. How about that? If we want to do a
All
group
right,
rating, 3.5. There you go. Well, hope you enjoyed that little review. Oh, dude, we should give them extra credit for next week, right? Okay,
all right, you do something.
my time to pick. So, I think this is going to be great. Let me just cut the still here, and I'm going to do some stuff. I want to challenge you guys, or I want you guys to do some homework. Justin, let me share my screen with you so you can see, or I can bring it up. Boom, boom. All right, I think we should listen to a song.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I caught it's a rap song. Southern rapper, right?
Okay.
And I know you haven't listened to this guy, so I want you to listen to it and give me your opinion on it.
Okay. I'm
Let's
I'm
see
guessing this
here.
one's called Better Days.
Better Days, yes. I'm just trying to see here. Yep, from Codeine. Okay, so for this week's homework, right? I want you guys to listen to a song by Zero. That's let me actually just show you this. Zero Z Tac RO Better Days, and it's on the album Codeine. Codeine. And yeah, it talks about a lot of real things that happens in his life, and it gives some great examples. But I was so shocked about like when I was listening to the song because I was actually listening to the lyrics. Not usually when I listen to music, dude, I really just listen to the intensity of what that guy's talking about, like how he's delivering his lyrics and the beat. You can say crazy shit like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have sex with you tonight," or I don't know, like, "Yeah, go kiss a man." It could be something stupid, dude. But
Great examples, I guess.
no, I was just trying to give something outlandish, you know.
Kiss a man or something.
Hey, that's outlandish for me, homie.
Oh, okay.
Show of hands. But anyway, yeah. And I was like, whoa, he's talking like some real shit. And then I started listening to him. I was like, all right, this is gonna be the homework because I know Justin, you've never heard this song, and I want you
Yeah.
to basically break it down to me. We'll take like lyrics and break it down, but yeah, that's gonna be the extra credit. Let's break down this song, and it's not
All
gonna be an
right.
hour and 40 fucking minutes. It's like a 4 to 5 minute song.
Jesus. Okay, my bad. Damn.
All right, we're done. Thank you guys for coming back on Monday, breaking down the weekend. Hope you enjoyed 13th as we did. I enjoyed it, but like I said, you can't fucking do that. But until next time, listen to Better Days by Zero on the album Codeine. We'll come back Thursday with some nice hot podcast news for you. Justin, you got anything for the people?
No, just check out the documentary if you haven't. And give us your reviews on it or your opinions about it as well. Feel free to hit us up on Instagram at our email, kjpodcast@gmail.com, or in the comments below.
Cool. All right, we out.